if you visited us for the first time, please subscribe to our channel. Please like our Facebook page, which is Love Hidden Treasure, or you can go to Instagram at HDN Treasure and find us there. But when we left off, we were talking about a list. You had kind of spoken to it a little bit. And I know like my girlfriends, they talk about a list. And that's like, the 20, 30 things that we add that we want our potential spouse, what we want them to possess, in order for us to date or take the relationship to the next level.
I'm not going to talk about your girlfriend's list. They want to kill me in your kill me in my sleep
Don't
too.
talk about my girlfriend.
Yeah, I think I jacked that up last time I was on the show. So
yes, you did.
Yeah, but that being said, it's the list, man. It's crazy. I think all dudes know that the girls have a list, ladies have a list from the time they're 5, 6 years old all the way up to, and I think that list grows. That list grows as women get married or want to get married in their 30s or 40s. So
yes,
that's kind of the tough as they get older. I think it's a little harder on the male aspect because of you guys want to get married, then you want to have your baby, and it's just hitting the check marks really, really quick.
Well, did you have a list? Were there things that like when we were dating that you were looking for that said, okay, she's got this, she's got that, she's got that. Okay, maybe this is somebody that I want to.
Yeah, I think dudes have a list too, right?
Okay, so
Don't get me wrong, but my list is totally different.
Okay,
so
let me hear it.
A dude's list is first, whether we see you at the club or the church. Both is like the club as far as I'm concerned. So don't get me started on that. But if, first is a girl cute. Man, okay, boom, check. Carol's fine. All right, then the next one is, for me, it was dance. Or did you like to dance? Did you like to do the things that I like to do? Because I'm an outdoor person, but also in a racing game. So can she handle the unique style of living that I had? Okay, boom, that was a check. Not really, but yes, that was a check. Does she have a good family? You had a good family. Okay, check. Right? Do my boys like you? It was kind of cool. And hopefully he's going to come in next week. But my boy Pat was like, dude, that's your girl. When my boys co-sign, or when our boys co-sign that that's the one, you may want to take a real good look at that one.
Yeah.
So, okay, that was a check. Is she good in bed? For those who were celibate, you could. Yeah. That's cool too.
Or waiting until they get married.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, did she check that off? Boom. She was kind of, like you said, long black trench coat with a lavender style negligee to the door. Come in, boom. I'm like, oh my God, I done found it.
His friend in another apartment, like he lived in condos, and his friend in another condo.
Von Webb. I know. I can tell you today. That's my homie.
Oh
Von was
God.
Like, dude, your girl is coming across the parking lot in a trench coat and a negligee. I saw her. I'm like, what? He's like, man, get ready. You got to get ready. I'm like, okay, this is getting ready to be on.
So funny.
Yeah, that didn't happen but one other time in LA when I was flying in and you met me at the hotel I know exactly. It's only been two times. Two times in 12 years. Again, check. That was good. And then we said, I do. And it was like, whoop, one line through the checklist. And then I'll stop.
Okay. So my checklist. Yeah, my checklist, it was, I had a few relationships because we got married. I think I was 33.
You told me only like 2 relationships. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, anyways, I was a little older than that. Anyways. But, I had a couple of serious relationships. And I think, each one I was picking and I was choosing like a better guy and a better guy. And so, I think that like when I was looking at my list and I was putting it together, what I didn't realize at the time is like, you can't just go from relationship to relationship. There has to be a point where you heal whatever happened or you mourn whatever happened in your previous relationship. And so right before we started dating, I had decided I'd gone to church and they had this singles ministry and they had this like weekend workshop and all of this stuff. But it was really good because it helped me to see that like, no, I wasn't healing. I was just kind of going through relationship to relationship, but I wasn't taking stock on, the things I liked with the person, the things I didn't like, because ultimately the person who I needed to end with was the person I needed to be with forever. So my list was like, he has to be a Christian. He has to be hardworking. He has to treat me, like a partner. He has to be my best friend and he has to be funny. Like that was my major list. I didn't have a ton of things on there. It was good that, me and Misha, hey girl, we looked you up on the internet to see like, oh, okay, he said he's a race car driver. Let's see.
Not lying.
Because girls, men lie. Check when they're not looking. Look at their driver's license. Make sure that the age they say they are. Like, make sure. Just fact check.
Damn wrong.
Just fact check. That's what I'm saying. Just fact check.
Okay.
Because it's an investment. Like when you really, yes, it is. When you really think about it, you're investing in your future. You're investing in your children and the makeup that they're going to get from your potential spouse. Like it's a big deal. Like these videos. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a second. But these videos make it look like, ooh, I'm gonna do you and I'm gonna do you and I'm gonna throw some money on it and I'm gonna lick it all up and like. Yeah. But like that is not reality. It's not real. You can't stay married. You can't choose your partner based on Atlanta Housewives. You can't choose it based on Basketball Wives. Like that's not real. You got to get to know the person. You got to get to know how they treat their mama, how they treat their family. If they respect women, like that, it's important to have a friendship. And our friendship is what kept our marriage going. And the fact that we had a child, like we say all the time, if we wouldn't have had Truly, like it's, God does that on purpose. He gives you something to fight for. And when you think like, it's not worth it anymore, this is just too hard, we're not working together. Like when we do that, and then all of a sudden you have this little baby who's like, why is daddy sleeping over there? It like makes you work harder. And so, I just totally got off on a tangent, but
The list.
yeah, thank you. But when you put your list together, like don't do the list on what they can buy you. You do the list on how they can lift your heart and how they can help you to get to your next level and to get to your goals. Because I truly believe together we're stronger.
Yeah.
Like we're a stronger unit because we're together, but we're together because we're friends.
I agree. And I think though it goes both ways. Create your list, and once you're in the relationship, at the end of the day, how can you help your partner? How can you lift up your partner? How can you help them grow? It's not all about you. And that's, I think, where we are today. When we first started, it was really not about either person, whether it was you asking me for money. I'm like, you got your own money. You had your money before we got married.
Yeah.
You better have your money now.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like,
you would never,
you would never have to go to work. I got it.
Right. Because when we first got married, I'm like, babe, once we have a kid, like I'd really like to stay home for a year or so.
Black folks don't do that.
And that's exactly what you said. You were like, black people don't do that. You're going to have to work.
You got to work.
And I was like,
that's what I was raised on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was raised on, that we both work. Yes, the man is supposed to take care of the household, but if we want certain things, then we both need to work and contribute to the household. Mm-hmm. Again, growth. And then at the end of the day, you transitioning to really lifting it up and believing in my business, believing that we could make it, instead of saying every time I'm trying to grow, you're like, no, you need to go get a job. You need to do this. You need to do that. I'm like, I have a job.
Yeah.
But that you having my back and supporting me on that was like, I need to take a step back. I'm like, okay, what is best for the family? What is best for our relationship? And you weren't happy in your current position. So I'm like, and I would always tell you, like, leave them.
Yeah.
They're not that important.
Right.
And you're like, oh, no, you were so worried about your list being CEO or CFO or whatever it is. You didn't see that was actually killing you, not just you, but our relationship.
Yeah. And I think that is really, really good word in that, I let my job, I let my career, I let my title really dictate, my level of importance.
Yeah.
and if I was contributing to the household. And when I got sick with cancer, like that shook that belief system to my core.
Right.
You know, and one of the things that my oncologist would say is, Kara, they don't care about you. Kara, they will replace you as you, they're going to be thinking about how they can replace you as you're telling them that you have cancer. Like, that's how deep that is. And so she was like, you know, spend less time worrying about invoices and more time on taking care of yourself so that you'll be here for your husband and your son. Because they're the ones that are going to miss you. Your job, they're going to replace you. And that was really good.
How often I tell you that way before her, though?
Yeah, I mean, you're so smart. Like,
okay. I got to get that on camera, too, at
you really
11:05.
You really are. You really
I tell you,
are.
it's crazy. And again, it goes back to relationship. I will tell you stuff over and over and over again.
Yes.
But maybe it's just our relationship. Maybe it's the male. I don't know what it is.
I know what it is. I'm going to tell you when you're done.
Well, hell no. Tell me now.
Well, for me, what that is I'm a researcher. Like, when you really know, and you know how I am.
You are a researcher.
Like,
but that means you research. All you do is just, okay, damn, that makes sense. You don't have to call this person, and then Patty, and then come back and say, huh.
You are right.
You are right. Well, that was 5 years later.
No, it's not that long.
This time.
It's not that long. We're much faster at this point.
I said this time.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, now we're much faster. Back then, I might not have ever got there.
Ooh.
But I would say that whether you're a man or a woman,
yes.
you know, you alluded to, like, once we have each other's back,
yeah,
and once, like, I stopped trying to turn you into corporate Troy, who I, like, in my head, that was success. Like, having a steady paycheck, you know, knowing where everything was coming from, like, that's what meant success to me.
Yeah.
I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I came from a family of, you know, my father had a pension, worked with the California prison system. My mother was a nurse, you know, worked for the same place for years. They didn't change jobs. I didn't see that. And so it took me years to get comfortable with the life of being an entrepreneur and having your own business. And then being able to appreciate that, you know, when you're a business owner, you're a community builder. Like, you built the community in Rubidoux. You gave jobs and employed people and helped change their life. And, like, we don't do that the same way in a corporate environment. And so me transitioning from, you know, corporate Kara to entrepreneurial Kara, like, I'm the happiest and most fulfilled that I've ever been. Like, I know that I'm in my sweet spot. And, like, when it comes to your relationship and it comes to you being able to support your partner, it's like, if they're in their purpose, then you have to figure out how to support it, but you have to communicate. You can't just be in your purpose by yourself and not bring your partner along. And I think through the years, we've kind of figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you would say all the time, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I didn't understand.
I hate that.
I did not understand that concept because, like, no, you're dead when you're dead.
Yeah.
That's what that is. But, like,
yeah, but money don't sleep.
Money don't sleep. And, like,
you didn't understand that concept either.
No. I understood you making it rain.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
That.
Yeah, you sure did.
But really, it's, you know, for me, it's being able to understand that when you're in your purpose, like, it doesn't feel like work so much. Like, even though I'm working, even though I work so much more now than I did at my present job, it's like, you know, we'll be in the bed, I'll be working. You know, it'll be, you know, I'll be in the afternoon, I'll get up at 7:00 in the morning and I'm thinking and I'm working because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
5:30 in the morning and 7:00, you 5:00 in the morning, you start working.
Yeah.
It's that grind. But again, it goes back. We had to go through all these different crazy things, right? With the relationship, you getting cancer, to you writing a book on me. No, I'm just kidding. It ain't about me. But when you get the book, when you KaraAdams.com, when you buy that book, all I'm asking, friends, ladies, especially the ladies, please read past chapter 6, then I become a good guy. Then you really get the fact that it took all of that to get us to our purpose, to you, to your purpose. and to see where and how we build our relationship.
Yeah. And it's funny because, as I've been speaking to people, as I've been speaking on a stage kind of about being, living in my purpose and being kind of a messenger of this, not just woman's empowerment, but empowering yourself to live your purpose and not letting fear get in your way. I recognize that even though, I'm a woman who wrote this book with women in mind, that it is touching the lives of men.
I know it says jacked up my men's group. Jacked up I'm a men's group. That's what's crazy, like relationships, right? So my wife, somehow, she always infiltrates right back into myself, my life, right? So what do we have? We told me, okay, yeah, take Tuesdays off. Yeah, you told me to take Tuesdays off so I could go to a acupuncturist so that we can try to get my little swimmers up so we can have a kid.
Yes.
It wasn't the fact that you were wanting me to have a day off. You had an alternative. I know you're not. Me either. Alternative motive, right? I have a men's group on Monday. Hey, you should go to the men's group. A lot of other brothers that hang out and we talk. Just have a good relationship.
Yeah.
I gave the book to the brothers, and now all of a sudden they all reading it, and we having relational discussions about this. So it's crazy how, again, the book, was written for women, but I'm seeing that a lot of men have been touched and moved by this book, as well as now they're sharing it with their spouses and their coworkers. So men, if you haven't read the book Hidden Treasure, trust me, it is a game changer. And I would definitely go and purchase that, or go to the gym retreat, which is in May.
Yes, we have a gym retreat. My goal was really not to just be a messenger, not to just talk about it, but to create events and to create situations where we could really figure out how do you love yourself and not feel bad for it? How do you share and become who you're supposed to be if you don't have the time, if you're always picking up the kids, if you're always cooking dinner, if you're always working, 50, 60 hours a week, how do you slow down enough to figure out who you're supposed to be and where your purpose is? And that's really what the VIP one-day retreat is about. It's about slowing down. It's about, we're going to do a mini workshop with this exact thing in mind. And so, I don't want to just put it out there. I also want to make it so that people can go, we're going to give some of them away for free. And, how you do that is if you text GEM, capital GEM 19 to 22828. If you text GEM, all caps, GEM 19 to 22828, we will give one of these amazing packages away. It's going to be in Riverside at the Mission Inn. It's beautiful. And it's all about, a day of indulgence and self-love, but it's a $700 investment that we're giving away because I truly, truly believe that when we can figure out how to love ourselves as women, as men, as whatever, then we love each other better. And so that's really what it's all about. It's what the book is about. It's what I'm about. It's, why I'm in my purpose and why I'm just loving life so much. So, and I'm awful about talking about it. So that's why. Thank you, baby. Thank you. But okay. So we're going to take a quick break, super, super quick. But when we come back, I want you to think about, as a man talking to women, what things could somebody who's either in a relationship or, thinking about getting into one, how do they prepare themselves to be ready, as a woman? And I'm going to say from a man's point of view, from a woman talking to a man, how they can be.
How can a woman get ready?
Yeah.
For a relationship?
Yeah. What is it that connects men and women together?
Yeah.
When we got together, that's what I'm going to talk about. What connected me to you?
You have 3 or 4 girlfriends. I'm just going to doctor it up.
Talk to them.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking to you guys. I am not. Get me in trouble. I am not talking to Kara's girlfriends at all. This is no discussion on them. I'm just thinking of them. Okay. Thing. This is not about them. Let's get that clear.
So when we come back, as a woman talking to a man, I'm going to say that. And as a man talking to a woman. Okay, good. So we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Welcome again to Hidden Treasure Moments podcast. I am Kara Adams. My husband is my co-host today, Troy Adams. And we are kind of talking about love, talking about relationships. And when we left on the break, we were talking about, okay, what advice can you give to women who, are on that kind of in that journey of finding a lifelong partner?
Yeah, that's a good one. At the end of the day, I believe that we all want a partner. We all want someone to love and want to be loved. And I think the one thing I would say is that almost forget the list, but put yourself in a position. I always would say, put yourself in a position to get a good partner, right? I don't think that you can find the partner at the club. You might be able to, and by all means you can. But if you're into the club scene, then maybe that's going to be cool because they're going to always want to be at the club, right? If you're into business, then you may want to find someone in that business arena. If you're into church, again, maybe you want to find them. Church to me sometimes is off and on because you have some of the people at the club going to the church to find their mate. So unfortunately, that's just real talk. But at the end of the day, forget the list.
Okay.
Like, work on yourself. And I think when you're ready, God will send you that mate, will send you that person. And then look at the pluses and the minuses because they are real. Like the things that you don't like are magnified by 100%. The things that you do like don't magnify as much.
Yeah.
So, and they may not even be real.
You kind of forget.
Yeah, and they might not be real, right? They could be giving you, like the caller said, at least like that may be the person that they think you want. So, no, just get yourself ready, humble yourself, and just be ready. Yeah. Right? And then be ready to work at the end of the day. Be ready to work at your relationship. Till death do you part means till death do you part.
Yes.
That's for me, that was the biggest thing. Yeah.
And I would say that, it's funny as I've had male friends who've gotten married or, who are dating, I always tell them that who she says she is, typically she is. So if she's like, I like brand names. I like the newest model of the car. What you want, what you got, I want. If she's like that when you're dating, she's gonna be like that when you're married,
and then some.
And then some. So if she, a good telltale sign is if she's got all designer bags, if she's got Louis Vuitton, if she's got Prada, if she's got all these bags, but she didn't pay for any of them.
Run like hell.
Run. Because that's going to tell you a lot about her. If she's living above her means, run. If she don't know what a credit report is, run. You're
going to get some hate mail. Yeah. See, that's why I said, fellas, you got to read the book Hidden Treasure. This is the first time my wife is making it real. I'm telling you, that's some real talk right there. Oh my God.
No, but it helps.
I'm buying you lunch for that.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Oh my God.
Thank you, baby. But really, it helps us all in the long run because a lot of the times we're trying to meet what we think you want. But if we see that really you want us to be our true authentic selves, if you want us to communicate and let you know what we like, what feels good, what, the places we like to go, then create a safe place so that if I say, I like to go salsa dancing, or if she says, I like to go salsa dancing, then go salsa dancing. If the only place you go is the place you like to go, there's a problem there. So just as, if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it. If you don't do the things both partners want to do, then one's going to feel like their opinion doesn't matter. So I'm not beating up on women because it's the same. I think it's kind of that same concept for men. If he's always puffing up his chest, but you can't see where his money comes from, that's a problem. if he is, oh God, okay, I'm gonna go into one because I know he's not watching. But I ain't gonna say his name. But I dated a guy who was multimillionaire, had a ton of money. But every time we would go out, he would make me pay.
God, I hope he's watching. God, I hope he's watching. Go ahead. I'm gonna say his name.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
But he would make me pay. And so I'd be like, why do I have to pay? Like, I'm not a money hungry person. I'm not a gold digger, but I do want to be treated like a lady, and I shouldn't have to pay every time we go out. Mm-hmm. He's got money. So like in my head, I was thinking, okay, something ain't quite right. And so, okay, ladies, I'm not saying you have to do this, but I found his bank statement because I wanted to make sure that who he said he was who he was. And yes, he did have that money in the bank. So I was like, okay. But then what I recognized is like, I shouldn't have to do all of that. So I'm telling myself one more time. I've changed since then a lot. I've changed a lot. But then I found that he would keep like a stash of cash. So then I started... I don't know if you know the story, but then I started like I would take out $200-$300, and then I would put his wallet or whatever back in his bag, and then
told me that.
and then I would use that money to pay for when we were going out to dinner or when we were going to lunch. Like I wouldn't use it to buy stuff for myself.
Women are so crappy.
But I was like, I ain't gonna keep paying. Like that don't make no sense. And so, but he got game. He got hip to my game because then he started like he would put the remote on top of the bag, or like he would like place it just so he would know if I was like going in it or getting money out of it. But then I like would take a picture of it so I knew like how he placed it. I'd go in and get the money, and then I would put it back. But I'm just saying. I don't know why I went down that road. But, those were big red flags. It was red flag for him that, he was dating a klepto. And then it was red flags for me that he didn't want to not just share, but just, treat me like a lady and take me out and pay. He didn't have to do it all the time. Yeah. But like, when you see red flags in the beginning, it means that there's a fire brewing at the end.
That was a dude right before me, too.
Yeah, he was right before you.
He was. He had that tongue. I'm sorry. See, I'm just saying.
So crass.
I am crazy. But it goes back. He did not do what hit your heart.
No.
At the end of the day, it's not about how much money sometimes we have.
No.
Together, we've done way better than what we could have done apart when we're on the same page. But a lot of times, we look at the list of what you want or the female wants and what the male wants, and we don't ever focus together. That's why, to me, people get divorced. That's why we separate. Mm-hmm. And once again, I kind of knew where your heart is. I still know where your heart and what you like, what you don't like. The real question is, do I want to do those things in order to make you happy? Mm-hmm. And ultimately, as we've grown here over the last couple of years, especially, we do things that help and want our spouse to be happy.
Yeah.
So to me, that's where the list is taking the list once you get together with that significant other and saying, okay, what makes my wife happy? What makes my husband happy? And focus on doing those things, even though there may become a time when it's 70-30 when they may not be doing the same thing for you.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's what we have to do.
And it's funny that we're talking about this all on Valentine's Day because like, if if your husband or your wife didn't do anything for you for Valentine's Day, but say like Happy Valentine's Day, like, how does that make you feel? Mm-hmm. And have they been putting enough, gas in your tank, enough love in your heart to where it, one day shouldn't make that big of a difference? Yeah. Like, for me, Troy is good about the everyday love, not quite so good at like the Valentine's, like birthday day kind of love. Like he's not like a one big event. And I'm fine with that. I know you and I'm good with it, but I know he does like that. He does like, getting gifts and seeing that I'm thinking about him and like if he needs something and just says it and I happen to get it, like that's how we show each other love and that we're thinking about each other every single day. And so like this morning, I'm going to toot my own horn. Like I got my son flowers, I got my husband flowers, I got them chocolate, I got my husband jeans. And it's because I'm not always so good about the everyday stuff.
Right.
And so, you know, this is my opportunity to remind you and to remind myself how much I love you.
I appreciate that. Sure.
And I want our son, thank you, baby. But I want our son to see that it's okay to give, but it feels good too to receive.
Right.
And that for him to see it's okay for a woman to give, you know, daddy and to give, I call him papa, to give papa, you know, to give him things, you know, pieces of love or things to remind us. And I don't think that we do that enough for our spouses and for our mates. And we have this huge level of expectation. But, you know, just me being able to live in my purpose is what, what are you doing?
She's always worried about what I'm doing. At the end of the day, I'm going to cut you off because that's what I do best. Look, hidden treasure. First off, I want to thank the dude before me. I really want to say your name so bad.
Don't.
You have no idea. I have no idea. But, dude, thank you because truly you gave up your hidden treasure. But behind, to me, it's like the same deal. No, it is. You know, the best jewelry is not in the case.
Yeah.
It's back there in the back. And he just didn't get it. He was looking on the surface. And thank you for blessing me with my own hidden treasure. Because you lost it. And that's, for me, has been through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Through thick and thin, you have been my ride or die.
Yeah.
Through thick and thin, no matter what, whether you were telling me go get a job or everything else, when you knew I was at my lowest, you made sure you're there to pick me up. And to me, that's what it's all about in regards to relationships. So, yes, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. Mwah. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, to you out there. And we look forward to, I look forward to doing this again.
Yes. And we want to say, you know, thank you to all of our viewers, to anybody who's listening, to everyone who has supported us. We really want to say thank you to our sponsor. We have an amazing new sponsor, which is Creative Solutions Marketing and Printing. Without you, it would be hard to make this happen. Remember, we're having a one-day VIP retreat. Everything about us you can get on our website, which is I was going to say my old employer, www.karaadams.com. And then finally, I also want to thank Felicia, the poetess, and Morris Media Studios for helping to really make a dream that I didn't even know was a dream to come true. And don't forget to go out and to buy Hidden Treasure. Please support me. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on my website. You know, it's super easy to find, and we appreciate you and we appreciate the support. Remember, you can find us every Thursday at 10:30 in the morning from 10:30 to 11:30. So until next time, love each other, be good to each other, and look for your hidden treasures. Until next time.